Hey, what is going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and today I'm going to be going over how to fix Call of Duty Black Ops 4 zombies. So this is going to be kind of going over everything I would fix within the game itself, specifically like the mechanics, not map to map, because this would be here forever if we were going into specific maps talking about what to fix in each one. Just on a general level, different features and mechanics in Black Ops 4 zombies that I didn't like and I think could have been fixed in a way. But we're not going to be changing things on a large scale. What I mean by that is, I'm not going to sit here telling you guys, oh, just scrap everything, go back to the Black Ops 3 mechanics or whatever. No, because that's not constructive. I'm going to be respecting the vision that Treyarch went with the different features, but improving upon them in a way that I think would have been beneficial for Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now, of course, the game's life cycle's done. They're not going to update it ever again, but this is just a cool retrospective to kind of talk about what should have been fixed, and a lot of these things could have been changed after launch. It's not like these things had to have been done beforehand, but if we were saying shit like, let's just change the entire perk system and go back to Black Ops 3, you'd have to change the whole damn game. So let's do this. We're going to go through all the different mechanics and talk about what should have been fixed, what could have been fixed, and what I wanted to see from this game instead, what I think would have improved upon it substantially. But of course, I gotta say, I did really like Black Ops 4 Zombies. I know a lot of people didn't, but I liked it a lot more than most people did, of course, but it's not perfect though, so there's a lot of things that could have made it way better. I think these changes would have honestly made it go from being like a, pretty good zombies game to actually one of the better ones out there. So let's start off with the perk system, because I'd say the perk system is the biggest criticism people had for this game. I mean, a lot of people only had this criticism, and that was enough for them to just not play the game at all. First of all, I think they should increase the limit from 4 to 6 perks, because honestly, there's 18 damn perks in this game. I mean, when you include all the DLC, of course. So 6 would have been much fair. I think it would have allowed people to have more options, because I do see people running similar perks every now and then. They do switch it up, but there is mainly, Dying Wish and Stamina Up and stuff. So of course they could have done some better perk balance as well. But I think allowing for 6 perks would have not only increased the replay value, so there's more perks people can try out, but also just would have been, I guess, just better overall. People would be able to try out certain perks that they maybe wouldn't normally use. Maybe they'd try out some of those more fun perks and put them as their last spot. You keep the modifier though, keep one of the perks being on a modifier slot. Obviously, they'd have to add 2 more perk machines on the Ether maps and 2 more God statues on the Chaos maps, but I'm sure that wouldn't be too difficult to do. They could have found places on all the maps to add them. And then I think when it comes to the crutch perks, I am glad they removed the crutch perks, but I do think the replacements for them were not very good. Speed Cola is fine how it is. You get 4 perks and you get it. You don't have to get all 6 though, just 4 perks and boom, you get the modifier and you get Speed Cola. I think that would have been fair. But for Jug, I think they should have had it so you started off with 150 health, right? And for every 2 perks you get plus 25 health. So if you have 2 perks equipped, now you have 175 health. If you have 4, you have 200, and if you have 6, all of them, you have 225, so that could be the max health. This would make people actually care more about getting their perks back after going down, rather than most people honestly just not really giving a shit. I mean, I've seen people just jump into the boss fight without any perks, because only really a few of them make a massive difference, to be honest. Some of them you don't really necessarily need. They're not as necessary as the perks were back in Black Ops 3, so honestly, a lot of people go without them. And then lastly, for double tap, how you have to get Pack-a-Punch 4 extra times for each gun is kind of stupid. Honestly, just 1 double Pack-a-Punch, you get double tap. I think that would be fair, and people wouldn't have complained about it nearly as much. So that's really all I have for the perk system, honestly. Like, would I prefer the Black Ops 3 system changed around a little bit? Yeah, of course, but I'm going to respect their vision. I'm not just going to shit on it and say just replace it with something else. This is how to fix it where it is, you know what I mean? Something that could have been easily done. Next up, the point system. Now, this is one of the only things where I'm literally going to say, yeah, it should have been reworked substantially. Like, I'm telling you, just keep it how it was in the previous Zombies games. I think the perk system, or the point system, was a very unnecessary change, but it also was negatively impacting the gameplay, because it made a lot of guns really bad or even bordering worthless. So I think it really makes SMGs not really useful, and a couple other weapons. You just might as well pick up the best gun in the game and just deal with that the whole game, because there's no reason to get a point gun. Point guns don't even exist anymore within Black Ops 4 because of the point system that they created, which I really don't like. I think they should have gone with the original point system that we've had since World at War. So next up, the HUD. This is another thing that I would say, yeah, completely rework it. I think there's been some examples people have made, some sort of fan art that have looked much better than what we've gotten. I really think that the HUD takes up way too much of the screen, and not just the HUD itself, but also the alternate HUD, I guess you can call it, the HUD when you press the back button on your Xbox or your PS4 controller, and it shows you like the items and the quest stuff, like that HUD. That needs to be rearranged as well. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good to the eye. Some of the stuff covers up too much of the weapon, and it kind of takes away from looking at the map. I mean, I don't think this is enough to ruin the game, to be honest, but I do think that the HUD does take away from the beauty of some of these maps, because you're just looking at these little icons on the screen that take up how good some of the mastercrafts look and how good some of the maps look themselves. It's kind of unfortunate. I think the game would look much nicer if it was a cleaner HUD. So that's definitely a big thing in my opinion. Next up, the D-pad. Now, the D-pad situation is really obnoxious in this game because they made it so the elixirs take up all 4 D-pad slots. And this forced the shield to go into the left bumper category, which means equipment can only be in the right bumper. So you can't even get 2 pieces of equipment at once. You can only use 1, which is a big misstep. They could have made elixirs on only 2 D-pad slots. You scroll up and down to check your elixirs out, and then you hold Y to use it, because holding Y in the game right now does nothing. So there you go. The right side could be for the shield, the left side could be for weapon inspecting, and boom, there you go. You figured it out. So now, Monkey Bombs, Hell's Retriever can go on the left bumper, while you get to keep your right bumper grenade or Wraithfire equipment without it getting rid of it. It's such a simple fix that for some reason they couldn't think of. I don't know why, but yeah, I don't get it. But that would be a huge fix in my opinion. That's I think I really wanted that to happen throughout the season. Fortunately, it didn't. Specialists, I'm not a big fan with having the specialist weapons available on every map for their specific story, because you're only going to use the best one. Like, when you ever use the shittier ones, unless you're just trying to have fun, but like, if you're trying to do good at the game, you're going to use the katana or the hammer of Valhalla. So what would have been much better is that you give each of these specialist weapons, there's 4 of them, right, for each story, and there's also 4 maps for each story. One of those specialist weapons should have been on a specific map, just like BO3, where they had specific specialist weapons on each map. That would make that weapon not only unique on that map, but it would also just make it so you have to use it. Therefore, you don't using the same one every single game, you know what I mean? Now, based on whatever map you're playing is the one you're going to go with. It sounds like it's removing customization, which is really strange, because on paper it is technically removing customization, but in reality it's not. It's really not, when you don't balance the specialist weapons good enough. And another thing is, I really don't think they should kill the zombies the way they do when you pull it out. I think that makes them way too powerful. Just do it like BO3, make them good, but just don't make it so it just completely saves your life every time you get cornered, because it basically turns into like an extra life at that point. Your specialist weapon is pretty much an extra life in Black Ops 4. You're not going to die if you have it out, because if you just get hit it twice, pull it out, you're safe. It's that simple. So I think it would make the game a little bit harder if it didn't save you like that. And it could be available through a quest or the box. I don't really care how it's earned, but I think that it would definitely be better if it was on specific maps rather than just on every map like the way it is. So not a part of the created class system pretty much. Custom mutations is another thing that I want to talk about, because custom mutations could have been much, much better. First of all, allow Easter egg completions in it after beating it once, but also have a symbol or logo on screen at all times showing that it's in custom mutations. Like, maybe it just says Black Ops 4 custom mutations, like some sort of a logo in the top right hand side of the screen. So when you're playing and you're uploading videos, you can't cheat people and think that you complete the Easter egg in gameplay on regular, when in reality you're in custom mutations. Now obviously it should be after an Easter egg completion for obvious reasons, and it's kind of a reward. It's like, oh, you completed the Easter egg, okay, well now you get to have fun with it and do it whatever way you like. I don't know why they didn't let us do that before. That was stupid that they didn't let us do that before, but this would be really great if they did. And I think if you make the game any harder and not easier in any way, it should just let you do the Easter eggs as normal. It should even let you do them before you complete them, or level up as normal, because you're making the game harder. Why should that take away the ability to level up or do Easter eggs? I have no idea. Rewards, there should have been way more Easter egg rewards. I'm talking reactive camos, mastercraft variants, when it comes to completing each Easter egg. Like, there were some really cool mastercrafts in this game that looked like they were designed off of like a map, right? So why not let us get those mastercrafts after beating the Easter egg, or even the gauntlet modes would have been cool to have those type of rewards around with them. That would have been great. Now, lastly, I want to talk about quality of life features. Now, quality of life is like simple, small things that don't really affect the game that much, but they would still be really nice to have. First of all, subtitles are way too big on the screen, and they're just sitting really right in the middle of the screen. It really pains me to put subtitles on, but I do it for when I'm trying to listen to story stuff, like when I play the maps first and I want to hear the quotes, or for certain Easter egg steps, you kind of need it on, or else you're not going to be able to do the step as adequately. So I always have the subtitles on for that reason, but it really does take away from the gameplay because the subtitles are so freaking massive, take up a large portion of the screen, and that kind of sucks. So another thing is, allow us to be able to see the part you're picking up on the screen when you pick it up. It's just like Black Ops 3, how when you picked up a part, it kind of appeared on your screen without actually opening up the, your quest parts. Do that, but in Black Ops 4 it doesn't. You just pick it up and it just goes straight there. It doesn't show on your screen that you picked it up. It's a very small thing, but it helps, especially when you're in a co-op game and a friend picked up something and you didn't know they picked it up because you can constantly check the HUD to see if they picked it up. So that would be a nice quality of life change, and also a hit marker on and off setting. Some people hate the hit markers. Let people turn them off, I don't really mind them too much, but I'd rather an option so people who don't like them have the ability to turn them off. That's the type of options I feel like that we need in this game. And honestly, that's all I got to say today, because those fixes were all made and that was, how the game was, the way I just said, I think this game would have been like one of the better zombies titles of all, like probably top 2. I think I would have liked it almost more than Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1. I mean, right now I think I do like it more than Black Ops 1, but I definitely don't like it more than Black Ops 3. I think the maps themselves are really, really strong, and I think most people agree with me, but some of these mechanics are holding the game back a little bit. If you change all those mechanics that I just stated, this game goes from being like I said, okay, to being freaking amazing, man. It hurts me that Treyarch was pushed onto COD 2020 so early because they weren't able to make these changes. So I'm hoping the next game perfects on some of the new ideas they had, but also just goes back to old ideas that might have been better off, like the perk system and the point system and the HUD. Everything else, though, I think Black Ops 4 made some great changes. It's just they didn't do them as well as they should have, you know what I mean? And that's important to note when, discussing these games and such. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Remember, be constructive about it. Don't just say the whole game's shit, it's ass, the whole thing needs to be changed. No. Be constructive, but let me know if you guys want to see more of these videos. Maybe I'll do how to fix Black Ops 3 zombies, or maybe you want me to do specific maps. Maybe I'll do how to fix Transit, how to fix Die Rise, how to fix Voyage of Despair, Blood of the Dead. Any maps you guys want me to do this for, and it doesn't have to be the best maps in the game. I can do any, or the worst maps in the game. It could be any maps. It can be the best ones. I can do how to fix Origins. There are ways that you can fix Origins because it's not a perfect map. It just wouldn't be that long of a video because most of the map is pretty freaking great. But regardless, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.